BCI is something that is pretty new. Most of you guys probably know we have been around for a whole 8 months now, and that is pretty amazing. 8 months is probably a long time considering the fact that most pages don't even get a following of 1,000 within a year or so. And so what we're basically doing is creating a space for people to come in and really be able to create a community. The page and the following kind of came as a result of what we were gathering, but the initial point was to bring together some people who were doing great work within their own fields and communities and allow them to kind of internally network and build with each other. So that is the premise of what BCI is about. We are an invite-only group, so a lot of people are wondering, how do you become a part of it? If you have people that want to be a part, you can DM them something to the page and let them know, hey, you referred them. All current members, we take all of your referrals like first priority. So if you have somebody that you know that wants to be a part, you can definitely recommend them. But we are specifically targeting people that we feel like have the it. They have something about them that is going to really edify the kingdom. And this isn't just within one area. So this is about people who are from various backgrounds, from doctors, attorneys, receptionists, singers, artists, ministers, preachers, public speakers, all rays of the spectrum. This is for you. This is a group that brings all of these crafts together and allow for you guys to really edify each other. Iron sharpens iron, and that's what we are doing. And hopefully in the process, you guys can grow your brand, your following, and your businesses as well, because that's a part of the kingdom. When you are a kingdom builder, all of his riches come with it. So we're going to get started and just kind of tell you guys a little bit about why you were chosen. A lot of people were asking, well, why me? I don't know if I'm really should be a part of the group. Maybe I'm not the type that it's looking for. That is so not true. The type is me. I'm a complete nerd. I'm not necessarily someone that you would normally see out in front of people, but I answered the call of God, and then he began to change and mold me just how he wanted me to be. And all of you, he will do the same. And I know that he's already probably doing that for you. So just go along with the process and know that you were created with purpose and for a purpose, and nothing is accidental. God is an intentional God. So that is what we are about. We're about creating intentional people within the kingdom. And you guys are multifaceted. You have a lot of things already going on for you, but these are some of the things that we currently look for with influencers that we invite into the group. So if you kind of saw this dynamic that popped up on your screen, your thought leaders, your positive thinkers, you have some dope content. I use the word dope a lot. Don't judge me. You have a commitment to excellence. I can see a lot of you doing it already as you're kind of seeing new influencers. You're saying, oh, wow, that's what they do with their page. That's cool. And you're kind of utilizing skills and, increasing your ability to connect and be positive within your group. Let me admit some people. Engaged followers. You have not just a large following, because anybody could buy followers, but you have engaged. You have people who actually comment and you respond to. You can tell the difference between someone who has like a lot of bot followers versus somebody who has actual people actually looking and talking with them. Innovative, uniquely gifted. We have some amazing people in this group that just from fashion designers to people that are doing things that haven't even been thought of before. One of the guys is opening a barber college for young people so that they can have a way of earning income for poverty-stricken neighborhoods. So many different facets of people, but you're all a part of this, and that's why you are here, because you are a Black Christian influencer. Okay, so we're going to get to the rules of this because I want you guys to kind of know, like, what does it mean? What are we expecting from you? A lot of you guys are already busy. Some of the current influencers that you've seen featured on the page, they're all busy. And so we don't put a lot of things on you. The things that we expect of you are very simple and easy to do as long as you kind of know that it's what we expect of you. So Rule number one, we basically want you to support others. That is key in this group. So we want you to be someone who sees the members in this group, and whenever you see their face, you're not just supporting them with, financially or trying to buy whatever they're selling, but you're there to support them spiritually, just emotionally, however they might need it. We're supporting each other. That's biblical. So that's one of the things that we do here is we actually exemplify godly principles. So we want you to exemplify that as well. It increases your network though. So I'm going to be giving out little secrets and tidbits that we'll have more little seminars like this throughout the process of you being a member. But algorithm tip, when you network with people and you're supporting and you're commenting and you're liking, the increase that happens to your own network is correlated. So know that when you are interacting with other people's pages, it's helping you not just to be seen, because if you notice when you look at comments and stuff on other people's pages, you can see the people who comment. Well, other people can see you too. That is a means of them knowing what you're about. And I promise you, if other people start to see that you are a positive person, like, man, who is that that's already commenting and saying that's great and awesome on their page? Wow, who is that? They'll start to want to know you more because of the way you show love. Again, this is all biblical. God has already created this blueprint, but it's just a matter of exemplifying this online. And so it increases your visibility. And I tell you that as well. A lot of people don't understand that that's what Instagram specifically, a lot of you guys have met on Instagram, is about, is the visibility portion. When you interact with other people's pages, and you'll see BCI do that a lot. We'll comment, we'll like, we'll promote things that you're doing. Well, a lot of the following of the people that you currently have will see that, and that kind of mimics over. So I'm giving you some tips, and hopefully you're kind of picking those up, that you're not just supporting for anything, you're just supporting because it's going to help you not only become a better Christian, but also more noticeable online, which is what a lot of people are looking for as well. All right, so the changes in the algorithm, there are a lot of things that happen, but the patterns that will be able to really be affected by you supporting other people is the fact that we have so many different people from different backgrounds. A lot of you guys, if you're a singer, you probably have a lot of singers that you have within your profile that you see all the time. Well, when you start to support other people who have networks of, maybe you are a financial expert, or you have a network of educators that you really are connected with, when you start to interact with them, you'll notice that their people become your people, because the algorithm will get confused, like, oh my gosh, you aren't just a singer, you don't just like singers, let me show you some other stuff. And you'll notice that your whole spectrum will begin to just widen. Okay, so this is like little tricks of the trade, and I have so many that I've learned. I'm a complete geek, and I've studied for maybe about a whole year about algorithms and patterns and how you can begin to just diversify your network. And that's what it's about, not becoming someone who has 100,000 followers but people aren't engaged, but really having people that support you and you support them. That's what you should be aiming for. So what are we going to do? Because we want you guys to be encouraged to do this more. I'm going to give out a cash prize, maybe to the people who are the most supportive BCI members. This is brand new. The other cohorts didn't get this, but you are. We're going to start doing this, that everybody who begins to start BCI, we're going to encourage you to support other people and give you a little incentive in the process. And so we'll be watching. We'll be kind of seeing who's really being supportive and who's just trying to promote themselves. But for the people who are supportive of other members, you're following them, you're commenting, you don't necessarily have to buy things from them, but if you are interacting with them on social media, interacting in the groups, we're going to give away some cash prizes to really help you guys continue to do that more. So yay, more money, more people entering waiting room. Okay, so we have said that rule. So how these really kind of interact and engage with you, I'm going to hopefully answer some questions in between that you might have about BCI and what we offer in the process. And okay, so stay tuned. So we support people, not just with like and follows of members, but we really want you guys to start doing this amongst each other. But it's very important that even as you see people featured, that you're liking them and that you're starting to support them, because that's what's going to help when your feature pops up. it's going to really be like, okay, wow, this is what's expected of me. I'm not going to have to worry about nobody paying attention to me or nobody getting likes. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we don't have the problem per se of people who are featured, you know, oh man, they only got 2 people like them. We don't buy likes. We literally have a network that we are building where we want more and more people just to be used to supporting each other. BCI, support BCI, and that's what we're about. Coming up, we're having some sponsored events. So guys, you've been asking, cohorts before this have been asking and asking about meeting in person. We are just now to the point where we are going to start that. We're going to have our first meetup. I'll tell you about that later in the end, but it's going to be in Atlanta. We have a conference that we're planning for next July where all of BCI will come together, and we're going to have some cool treats. It's going to be super dope. So stay tuned for that. But again, support other members, their events. If you guys are doing that, that's going to be another thing. If you're in the city and you notice that there's an event of another BCI member going on in the city, go to that event. I would absolutely love it if it got to the point where we were almost like a fraternity or sorority where, you know, you just see somebody who's like, oh, you BCI? All right, I'm going. I'll be there. That's what we're aiming towards. We want you to see this as a family, as a community, and not just a place where people are coming for you to be seen. But this is a space where we support each other and truly love each other, not just for likes' sake. But again, once you see that, we want you guys to really be a part of other members' events, support them if you can, buy their albums if you like it. We don't want you to buy things that don't make sense because that's not helping anybody. If you're buying stuff and it's like not good, we want people to get better, okay? So if they're good, you like it, support it. Volunteer for committees. We really want you guys to understand that we are going to create a community now where you can be a part of BCI. As I said, we are only 7 months in. I'm sorry, 8 months in now, and we have a lot of committees that we are building. So you guys get to be a part of the ground up development of this internal community. So it's a really unique opportunity. This will probably be off the slides by our next cohort that we have come in for our orientation. But volunteer for committees that are available now, and I'll have the link that'll be coming out shortly after this. And you guys will be a part of this building of this event. So again, like the post, follow us on social media outlets. I'll have that up at the end. That's all a part of supporting BCI and potentially winning cash prizes. Okay, moving on. Rule number 2, BCI, we really want you to participate in groups. We have the online with everybody, and I know that can seem overwhelming to have access to so many people within that network. I think it's probably over 800 or so on the online platform. So we have forums where you can participate, but where you really are going to engage people is in our small groups. So we want you to do that. Learn from each other. We really want you to do that. Grow your following, because a lot of that, when you're participating, people will get to know you. They'll like you because I like you, and then you'll be able to grow your following as well. That's all a part of this. Developing real relationships. No bot followers. We do not do that. I do not buy likes. I do not buy follows. So if nobody's engaging, that just means the content ain't good, and we'll try something else. But that's what we do here at BCI. We encourage realness and authenticity. So collaborate with others. Guys, this is another little nugget that I'm putting out there. When you collaborate with other people, whether that's joining your 2 lives together or having an event together in person or working on a podcast and you're inviting another BCI member, you are collaborating with people who have a network that's already similar to you. This was a huge problem for me when I was trying to build up a following for my own show. I used to do a show called Higher Learning before BCI kind of took off. And I was trying to really find my network. Wow, who are the people that really relate to me? Who are the people that I feel can connect and would identify with what I'm talking about? Well, I have created this network where you are now connected to people who are like you. All you have to do now is work it, collaborate with them, you know, be a person who's engaging and really taking advantage of this group of people being brought together at your fingertips. All right, so moving on, participation. Again, this is what we expect of you. We want you to use the small groups. It is optional, but it's a great way to be held accountable for just being involved within BCI and just your life in general. You would be surprised how many people have really begun to open up in some of our older cohorts. There were people who eventually were maybe going through a time where they were emotionally distressed or depressed, and they would type into the small group like, guys, pray for me, I'm really feeling low today, I could really use somebody to pray for me and lift me up right now. And the group will just gang up on them and be like, hey, I'm praying now, I'm praying now, I'm here for you, what do you need? You know, that's the type of community that I want you guys to know that you're entering into. You're not just entering into a small group for people to like your post and to get some people to buy your stuff. You're entering into a group of people who will hopefully be there for you and be able to say, hey, you can make it. I know this Christian life is hard, I know it's rough, but there is a reason for you being in the kingdom, and God has not forgotten about you. So these small groups are really utilized for that. We're not trying to give you a space for you to post your flyers. You can post your flyers and send them to our DMs. We actually, if you send your flyer that you have for an event to the DM, we post it in the, what's that called? The groups, what's that called? IG, the up at the top where you see the stories, that's what it's called. We post all of your flyers. If you want to have them posted on our page, we post them in the stories. We get a visibility of over 200 or so people looking at our stories at a time, or more. We've gotten as much as 500 people looking at our stories. And so we want you guys to know that the stories is the best place versus the small groups in IG, because the small groups, you only reach in a group of 32 people. But when you are posting in the stories like we do for you, you get to reach everybody. So DM me your flyers and things like that. The page will post it for you in the stories. Again, we have a private Facebook group. If some of you guys have not already known about it, there is a private Facebook group that you should have already been invited to. If you have not, again, please message us in any format, and we will make sure you are added to that private group. That group is really used for announcements for BCI as well as for all of you guys. So again, if you have announcements, we usually wait until every Friday to post everybody's. But again, we will do special situations for events that we have coming up, or if you have this really big event that you want or are creating a conference, we utilize the group to do that as well. We really want you guys to attend other member events though. So be open to that. Be open to meeting new people and attending and supporting, because that's what we want to do for you as well. A lot of people ask like why we really don't like to have your company be a part of these groups versus you. The reason I give is because I'm looking out for you. A lot of people have great company ideas and they grow quickly, but then you realize, man, God also gave me the ability, I want to start a clothing line, and I also would like to start a food truck. Well, if somebody is following you as an influencer, they can be exposed to all of that, and they don't just have to be exposed to the one company that you've added into the BCI group. So make sure if you have entered the group as your company, I give you that option, but I highly recommend that you use your own personal brand, because your groups, your companies will all move around in life. Who knows, BCI might be taken over by a major company who can staff it appropriately and continue the vision. But I always have Jackie the Educator. Jackie the Educator is me. So you'll see me, and I want you guys to feel encouraged and know that this is a group that supports the influencer and everything that they have to offer. But it starts with the influencer. So know that, when you have a page that's just for a company, that's for a company, and we support those too. We follow them, but the influencer is what we focus on. In case you missed it, these are some of the committees that you can participate and volunteer on. You have a community development committee, chapter development. We'll be having chapters in cities for you guys to connect with more intentionally. Wellness support committee, a leadership development committee, strategic partnerships, and a media and marketing committee. The good thing about all of these committees, they're going to be headed by leaders in the field. So you've seen people on our page, our board members. They aren't just members of BCI, but they are literally extraordinary people within their own fields. they are going to be leading these committees, and you are going to want to be a part of it for the potential of networking and collaborating with amazing people. So make sure you are volunteering for these committees and being a part, because it's going to be a great way for you to gain exposure and basically work alongside people who are already doing it excellently. All right, rule number 3, and this is the last rule. Guys, I'm not going to keep you long. I know it's a Saturday night. Commit to excellence. This is so important because we are not a group that's looking to just be swindlers or take money from people or just do something because we want a whole bunch of people following us. No, that's not what we're about. We're committed to excellence. And although some people, you've seen their pages, maybe it's not as good or amazing as other people's pages, they have the potential to grow from each other. And that's what we're really looking for. The people who have the hunger to grow from other people are a part of this group. And so we want you to continue to have that attitude, because that's what we are looking for. We want you to look at other people's pages and hone your craft. Make sure that, hey, I noticed that their pictures are always so clear and they have a lot of people engaging. Guess what? That's a strength. You want to utilize that. You want to start doing that on your page, because it's really going to help you. We want you to seek new opportunities. That's going to be a way that you're committed to opportunities, to excellence. When you are a person who's open-minded, that begins to open so many doors for you. You have no idea. But most importantly, be yourself. When I say be yourself, I'm saying this in the most uncliche way. I'm a uniquely nerdy person, and I have committed to that, and being an influencer and coming up with these own rules for myself has helped me to stay true to myself, because you can easily become lost within this sea of influencers that are doing dynamic things that you forget who you are. And we do not want that. We don't want you to become so committed to excellence that you create a person that doesn't exist in real life. So I'm committed to be the most excellent nerd that I am and growing the more, and then just broadening my horizons from there. So be yourself and be committed to that, because that's what's really going to set you apart as an influencer, because people are looking for it. So what does that look like when you're talking about be yourself and commit to excellence in the group? Well, we want you to be ready to be used. We feature our influencers. People ask all the time, how much can I pay to be featured on your page? Lord, I've been tempted, but we do not accept money for features. That's not what we do. That's not what we're about. We only accept our members to be featured, because we want to stick to this support your own type of theory. So be ready to be featured. We want you to be excellent when you're featured. So when you sign up for one of your assessments with me, I'm going to do them for now. I do all of the assessments one-on-one. You'll be having a meeting with me, and I'll go over your page. I am pretty brutally honest in the nicest way, but I want you to improve so that you can be featured. I've seen people start off with pages that were like, kind of cringy. And then by the end of them being featured within a month or so, or in a few months, they've created this page now that's so dynamic, and then they become featured and people are really receptive towards them, because we don't buy followers. And so if your content is not good when you're featured, it's going to show. If it's not engaging, if it's not relevant, it's going to show. And the last thing I want to do is set people up for failure. That doesn't make you look good, and it doesn't make BCI look good. So we want to make sure that you are growing, you're getting better at it, and it doesn't have to happen overnight. It usually is a process of you just observing and interacting, and you naturally start to get better. That's what we want to encourage. I see some questions coming in, and I'm going to answer them all at the end, and we're about maybe 3 slides away. So keep the questions coming as you have them. But make sure your quality imagery is happening. Be original. A lot of people want to talk about their business. We have sessions where we're going to dive into this, guys, but being original is just literally, the algorithm loves it. You can repost things all day, and I do that sometimes, but you got to have some original content out there. You got to have people see you. You may not feel as comfortable with it, but I guarantee you, you will become comfortable. I'm doing this for you because I feel like this is what God had to do for me. He literally had to pull me out of my comfort zone, this little introvert nerd that hated being around a whole bunch of people, and create her into this person that's confident and secure with what she is, so that I can talk to other people who I feel are going through the process. So I want you guys to feel encouraged to do that as well. Be open to criticism. Like I said, I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to tell you, hey, you know what? The quality of that video is not the best. Can you re-record it, maybe with some, better imagery, or, do you have a better camera phone? I don't, throw things out there that you don't have already, but, if you want the best possible results, I'm going to set you up for success. But maintain a positive attitude. That is huge. I haven't encountered this, but I still want to say it with every cohort that comes in. Be positive, be someone who's upbeat, especially when you're interacting with other members in the group, because that's what's going to create people who know what you're about, who knows what your brand is about. You're exposing your brand to people when you interact with them, when you connect. So make sure you're positive. And again, have an open mind. That's the biggest thing that we can ask of you when you're being excellent, is just have an open mind, and things will naturally happen. All right, so you guys probably have a lot of questions. I literally stepped my foot in a whole lot of things, but I'm going to give you this upcoming classes that's going to show you exactly what you're going to get, and we're going to take a whole 40 minutes to go over these in these sessions. And so we have a Kingdom Plagiarism coming up on 10/19. This is going to be talking about how to ethically use and share ideas online. Some people repost things, and especially as you grow your following, there's not necessarily a code of ethics on social media, but there is something that is called respect, and it's called being a person who give honor where honor is due. We promote that to its fullest. And so we're going to talk about Kingdom Plagiarism as you kind of get started. That's happening on 10/19. 11/16, we're going to talk about working your network. I dabbled in it a little bit today, but we're going to talk on how you can use what you got and grow what you have. I started off with a camera phone and just a little bit of free apps. I'm going to go over those free apps that I use and I still use on Jackie the Educator to create a lot of my cool things that I do, the memes and the little interactive pieces. I'm going to give you all of those. If you're an iPhone person, I'm going to be there for you too. I'm going to pray for you that you come on over to the other side, but I'm going to have some resources for you as well, for you to really start to grow with what you have and to use your network. I've learned so many tricks, so that's going to be a really, really good one. So that's going to happen on 11/16. Not another podcast, Lord, and this applies for bloggers too. We're going to have a session that really talks about how to create a standout podcast or a blog, because a lot of people are like, I'm going to start a blog, I'm going to start a podcast. And then it's like, man, nobody's listening to it. Nobody's following it. Well, you got to stand out. And it's going to be a gradual process of just honing and learning what makes you you, what makes you unique. And if you have your assessment that you sign up for, I'm going to talk about what I think is unique to you. When I look at your page, when I talk to you, I usually start off the assessment with just asking you about you. What do you do? What are you about? Where do you come from? And from our brief conversation, I'm going to tell you what I think is unique about you and what I think will really be able to catch some attention as well. So 12/14, we're going to talk about that. Mind your business. That's going to be happening on 1/18. This is really going to be about mental health. A lot of you guys, I don't know if you know, but I am a strong advocate for mental health, especially for social media these days. Literally, it will take you out if you let it. But we're going to talk about how you can mind your business, your mind, keep it. That's going to be on 1/18. And algorithm blues, that's going to be happening on 2/8. Listen, I love this one right here because the algorithm changes all the time. And it will make you feel like, man, I'm just doing a horrible job. Man, maybe why isn't anyone listening to my content? Nobody's doing anything with me. What am I doing wrong? We're going to talk about that algorithm and how you can adjust to it, because we keep up with the current trends, things that are changing on social media. Before, you used to be able to use a whole bunch of hashtags and you wanted to use the most popular ones. Now, throw out this little nugget. You don't want to use a lot of hashtags, maybe like 5 at the most. And then you want them to be unique, because they have little things that if you use a hashtag that's used too many times, it won't even use your post very often, because a lot of spamming has happened with that. So they've stopped sharing people who use hashtags that are overused. So little tidbit, throwing it out there, but we're gonna have a lot more about that. Size matters, 321. I had so much fun coming up with these names, guys. How to grow your following on social media. A lot of people have asked, hey, how did you grow from 0 to where are we at now? I don't know, 15 or so within an 8-month period. Well, I'm going to share with you all the little strategies, and there are so many little things that I've used here that have created this gradual buildup of followers, and I'm going to do that for you. And that's going to be one you want to tune into, because I'm going to be as open as possible before my book comes out. No, I was kidding. But internally, guys, I'm sharing this with you because I want you to benefit from it now, and not just when a book comes out and people are trying to read up on what is happening and how you can be a Christian and still get brands to sponsor you and get money and live off of being a unique person. That's what we're going to talk about. That's what social media does, and that's what I want you to be able to do as well. And of course, we're going to talk about eye candy on 411. That's going to be talking about how you can make your brand more visually appealing. Hopefully you guys are doing that, but we'll get into little details as small as like how to choose the right camera, based on your budget, how to make your pictures look better. I have all the little apps and resources and programs that will help you be able to do that efficiently. So all that's coming. I say all that to say, guys, support us. We have so much on the way. I haven't even gotten to maybe 30% of all the things that are in development for BCI. The cool thing about BCI is that because we're growing, I wanted to start off very low entry for you guys as far as how much you pay in dues. These are dues. When you pay the monthly membership, it's a dues of $120 a year. But for me, I wasn't in a place $120 at one time. So we've broken it down into $10 a month for you guys. So if you are a part of the new cohort, that's what it's about. And you get access to all of this for $10 a month. I'm going to have to be open with you guys and say that coming, I want to say September, the end of September, the price will go up to $25 a month. Not for you. So don't be like, what? No, you guys will be grandfathered in at your current membership price, but we have a few things that's coming out. We have an app that will feature all of our influencers. We have a whole bunch of other things, but you are locked in to what you have right now, unless you get out and then try to come back in. But then you can come back in, but it'll just be at the new price. But we are having more and more people we're onboarding. We're taking our time with admitting new people. I didn't want to grow too quickly because I think it's important that I get this time with everybody so that I can have individual conversations and really begin to just help everybody grow intentionally, and not just for the numbers, but because I want to see people do better. So if you're not already, follow us on our pages, Instagram, Facebook, all of those. We have the pages where you can follow us. Upcoming events that you can look forward to. We're going to be at the Kingdom Image Awards. This is probably that extra percent that I told you guys that we do that I haven't really shared with everybody, but we are creating an intentional collaboration where we will honor our influencers that are part of this network at the Kingdom Image Awards. This year, we're going to be starting out with a reception for our influencers. I'll have more details for you, but starting off for 2020, we're going to actually have an Influencer of the Year award that we're coordinating with them. We're going to have so many other cool things that I can't even get into. When I tell you guys, he's about to blow our minds with this. Literally, he's about to really advance the kingdom. So stay tuned. We have cool things coming up with that. BCI meetups, the chapters that you guys see developing, that's going to be meetups that are going to be hosted. We're going to do a starter one in Atlanta. I'll send you guys the calendar. Everything that you've seen here we'll have access to as well. So don't feel like you have to jot everything down right now. I'm going to have everything sent to you. I'm the teacher, know that. So we'll have meetups that you'll be able to sign up for. and BCI conference, where you guys are going to meet with each other. And this isn't just going to be any conference, people. This is going to be a conference where you are going to walk away with stuff that you didn't have when you came. And I'm going to leave it at that. Not just words of encouragement. You'll get that too, but you're going to literally walk away with stuff that you didn't have when you came. And we want you guys to prepare yourself. BCI 2020 in July, details to come. That is all I got for you guys. I hope you have enjoyed this. I'm going to open up the questions that I have not been looking at. So I want to see what you guys are talking about so that we can get into that.